Hello there guys, it's Wayne from Luna's World. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to X-Plane 11. Now this is going to be an interesting video, I hope. I've not done this kind of thing before. I'm going to have a go at combining X-Plane 11 with a kind of whole experience. I'll explain more as we go, but basically I've been inspired by the recent Chernobyl TV series that's been on, and I've always been fascinated with Chernobyl and the history behind it, and all the social political stuff behind it as well. So I really enjoyed that series. It got me thinking about, wouldn't it be cool to fly over Chernobyl, get an ortho tile and fly over and see what it's like now, basically. And that's the amazing thing, isn't it, about X-Plane, is that we can grab recent photos, ortho scenery, and import it into the X-Plane. We can fly over these places. So yeah, I really thought, why not make a video where I do that, and then also use the VR app that's the Chernobyl VR experience, and kind of combine it into one video that is kind of a historical look at Chernobyl, and combining flight simming as well. So that's kind of what we're going to do. I hope you're going to find this interesting. We're currently situated at Kiev, and we're going to take off. Going to do a right-hand turn. We're going to go over to the lake and then follow the Pripyat river up to Chernobyl, fly over Chernobyl, fly over the reactor, fly over Pripyat itself, and then turn around and fly one more time over the reactor, and then we're going to delve into the VR app. So yeah, hope you're up for this. Let's put some flaps out. I've chosen this aircraft, by the way, because of the amazing views it has. So let's set takeoff power, and away we go. It's a little bit breezy here in Kiev. It's 40 knots, so bring the nose up, and we are up. Yeah, a little bit bumpy, especially in this little aircraft, as you can see, but not too bad. Right, we'll put flaps up first, and then we'll start our right hand turn. Oops, sorry about that. The hat switch view on this has gone quite jerky, unfortunately, but apologies. I'll try not to use it too much. I am going to have to use the ground speed fast forward, if you like, if that's the way of describing it, just because it's about 60 or 70 miles from here, so it's a fair old trek. If we do it completely manual, it'll end up being an hour and a half video. So with that being said, let's do that now. I'm going to press Alt T, and that gives us 2 times ground speed. Press it again. 4, 8 and 16 is the max, and the little CTLS handles it like a trooper. So here's the lake here, so we're going to do a left-hand turn. And what happens is the river kind of sections off into 2. It kind of goes left and right, and we need to take the left-hand spur. I don't know if that's the right word. And that'll take us all the way up to Chernobyl, which is where we want to be. You'll see the tile. I think this is the beginning of the tile right now. Yeah, looks like it. And I have to say, the detail is pretty darn good. Very cool. reactor, so we'll just follow this around. Maybe we'll gain a little bit more height. I've got ortho, not ortho, I have X-Enviro running as well. Okay, so here's the Pripyat River, and directly below us, I think, is the nuclear reactor. Yeah, so we're pretty high. So let's come off the throttle. In fact, let's get a little bit closer. So this whole area is part of the nuclear power station, but it's the area kind of dead ahead that we're most interested in. So actually let's go around this way. But you can see the detail is really quite good. It's not a perfect tile, you can see you know, the squaring off there, but it's not bad. It's really not bad. Okay, so you're looking at pretty much the Chernobyl power station right here, and then the silver kind of roof area is where reactor 3, I think it's 4 actually, reactor 4 actually exploded. So this is the site of the actual accident itself, and you can see this kind of dome shape. That's the sarcophagus that entombs all of the remaining byproduct of the disaster. So lumps of graphite, you know, core material, nuclear waste, the whole thing. So it's pretty amazing. And there's a big cleanup operation going on, and they've really done an amazing job, really. Absolutely incredible to think what happened here. It's a shame that the sun is kind of, let me just dim the lights a little bit and see if that kind of helps. Yeah, so there's the sarcophagus in full view, and underneath that is, yeah, a heap of radioactivity. Pretty intense. Pretty amazing. Okay, so I think Pripyat is, if we head in this direction, if my bearings are right, should be over here. It's a very woody kind of area, much more kind of green than you would expect. And you'll see, of course, abandoned buildings. Let's just get a little bit of height. Really getting blown about here. Yeah, and this is Pripyat dead ahead, which is kind of a, you know, pretty much a ghost town, although you can actually come, you can stay in hotels here now. They do day trips where you can spend the night and then look around the reactor. So it must be fairly safe if they're doing that. I have to admit, I would absolutely love to go. It would be pretty incredible to see. I mean, all of these, this is where the town was evacuated, I think the next day. So all the people that were living here got a really horrendous dose of radiation, and many of them have since passed away from, you know, cancer and different ailments. If they weren't killed, you know, relatively quickly through radiation sickness. And of course, all the birth defects and everything else that arose. Horrendous, absolutely horrendous. It did affect the wildlife in the trees, of course. Although, judging from these photos, you know, it looks fairly healthy down there. but you see these sort of areas of sort of patches and some weird tree growth, and areas where it's just just like I said, patches. So I guess they've replanted trees, maybe trying to save them. But yeah, what an amazing place it is. I cannot imagine what those people went through. Okay, and there is Pripyat. So you can see a sort of woodland area there, very, very sort of brown looking. The smoke from the reactor on the night was actually, it would have been going in this direction. So I'm guessing that had something to do with it. But yeah, very incredible place. And if you haven't seen the series, the TV series, I would highly recommend it. It's difficult viewing. It's certainly not for the faint-hearted, but it's an incredible account of what happened. Not just about the explosion, but the aftermath and the, as I said, this sort of social political things surrounding the accident. But there we go, guys. So why don't we head into the VR app now and have a look inside Chernobyl. Okay, guys, so here we are in the VR app in Chernobyl. As you can see, there's many options that we can choose to have a look around. So I think we're going to start. Let's have a look at maybe... Let's go to the flats first, because this is, you know, obviously where they were evacuated. I'm going to shut up.
The former Soviet Union, the city was founded as the settlement for the workers of the nearby Chernobyl nuclear power plant.
Okay. Oh, here we are. Whoa. Okay, looks like we're in a kitchen. Oh, we have a Geiger counter. And I can point this at different things and get different readings, I believe. Geiger, yeah. And I can teleport. Oh, okay, this is kind of cool. Whoa. Pretty spooky. Let's go in here. Whoa. This looks radioactive. Yeah. Radioactive mold. Wow, this is pretty amazing. Let me stand up. Okay. Wow, there's something, okay, crazy amount of radiation here. Let's have a look.
All the things that the residents left were thrown through the windows and then buried in the areas designated earlier for the further expansion of the city. The purpose was to discourage people from returning home. If you want, you can go to the roof to see the panoramic view of the city.
Yeah.
View from the roof.
Let's do that.
The evacuation of Pripyat still remains controversial. It is believed that the permanent displacement of the population was unnecessary, and the radiation level in the city is lower than the background radiation in some inhabited parts of Europe and the world.
Really? Wow. There's the reactor right there. Yeah, I guess 24, 23, 25. around.
Flat.
Okay, go back to the flat. There's a couple of clicky things I can do here. Oh, we're back in. Okay, let's hear this. There's a couple of click spots in here, I believe. Yeah, one here.
Attention, attention. Dear comrades, the City Council of People's Deputies reports on the unfavorable radiation situation in the town of Pripyat in connection with the accident at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant.
I can't
The
imagine.
party, government bodies and military units are taking all necessary measures.
I just can't imagine.
However, in order to ensure a complete safety of the people, and children in particular, there is a temporal need to evacuate the residents to settlements in the Kiev region. To do this, today on the 27th of April, starting at 2 p.m., buses accompanied by the militia officers and the representatives of the City Executive Committee will be directed to each residential house.
Yeah, and escorted out basically. Okay, let's check out this one.
Most of the flats in Pripyat are empty. Single seats, sofas, and other furnishings were preserved only in few of them. When it became obvious that Pripyat would
Press
be
A or
closed
X to
several
mute and
actions were
unmute
organized
Geiger counter.
to which the residents
Yeah,
could
yeah.
take the most necessary things from their flats.
Okay, anyway. Cool, so let's head over to the nuclear reactor itself. And I don't know how much we can see.
Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant.
Let's go, let's check this out. Ooh, it's pretty intense, I have to say. Oh, we're in a helicopter. Oh, no, it's a drone. That's pretty cool. A little bit disconcerting standing up and flying. But wow, look at it. And that's the esophagus right there. Exit. Oops.
We are now at the site which is called a sarcophagus observation deck, or the new Safe Confinement. This is probably the most popular place for everyone who comes to the area of the Chernobyl power plant. And behind me, you can see the sarcophagus, which was constructed in a very short time, in just 6 months.
It's not behind you. But anyway, it's there.
The monument, which is located here, was
Which is
erected in
behind you.
2006,
2006.
and it was placed there to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the launching of the construction of the old sarcophagus. It was designed for the operational term of only 30 years. But you can see that there is already the new Safe Confinement, ready in 80%, which is going to be installed in a year or even sooner. And it will cover the old sarcophagus, which was built in 1986 by the construction management of the US 605 and the personnel of the Chernobyl power plant. and so it will be a landmark event, as it's going to be the 30th anniversary of the Chernobyl disaster. And all this time, Ukraine has participated in the rectification of the consequences at the Chernobyl power plant. The Chernobyl power plant is probably the biggest undertaking, with a huge number of people who participated in damage control and recovery. And everyone is looking forward to seeing the new sarcophagus, which will be constructed and put into operation. It will bring a second life to the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Also, other work has begun, namely the work associated with the immobilization of the old equipment and the processing of radioactive waste, which will remain under the cover of the old sarcophagus. We'll wait.
Wow. I wonder when that was filmed. Wow, look at this. Crazy. Amazing.
Chernobyl.
Okay, so we went through this door, so let's try this door, I guess. I'm not going to show you everything here, guys, because there's too much, really. But, oh, should we just, before we do that, let's just see what this is about.
The main reason for the explosion of the reactor number 4 was its unsuccessful safety drill. Poor decisions and faulty construction caused the reactor's power level to plummet to 30 megawatts.
Okay. I'm going to skip that just because of the Geiger counter going off. It's probably going to be annoying. I'm not going to be able to hear it properly. Okay, where are we now? Oh, wow. Look at these guys. They don't have any protective gear, so it must be safe. Oh, and this guy doesn't even have a hard hat on. He's gloves. You need gloves, which he's not wearing. Health and safety. Look at these guys. Wow. I guess the radiation is not too bad. I love to think about these structures that have been here since, since it all happened. What they've seen. Absolutely unbelievable. Really incredible. So guys, I think this is probably a good place to end it in this incredible view here with the new sarcophagus, not esophagus. That's something in your stomach. But you can see that it's not finished yet. Like I said, I don't know when this was created, but what looks like, I guess, a concrete kind of layer inside there as well. But yeah, it's certainly an interesting place, isn't it? And this app is wonderful. It's a great insight. There's a ton of stuff. I've only shown you probably 5%, if that, of what you can see and check out here. So if you're interested in Chernobyl, go ahead and grab this app. I paid for this app. This is not a sponsored video, but I think it's a really, really amazing experience if you have a VR headset. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed my kind of experience with flying over Chernobyl in the CTLS. In the tile there. Feel free to obviously fly over it yourself, check it out on your sim, maybe even ramp it up to 18, level 18 in the ortho, probably get a bit more detail, but it's an incredible thing to see and to fly over. And this is kind of, whole thing has been inspired by the recent TV series, which I think has been excellent, so check that out if you haven't as well. there we go, guys. So it's something a little bit different. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. And as ever, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys very soon. Take care.